Okay, our video is rolling. And what we're going to do is we're going to look for traffic. No traffic there. No traffic there. And just put your hand on the kite there and your hand on the kite there. Want a back taxi? If we take off down here, it's better for your paparazzi because we'll lift off about in front of the tower. So on the takeoff, have you ever had a flying lesson? Because most of our customers have not.
No, I have not.
Okay. So it's a real simple process, and that's why we like to have you involved on the takeoff.
Sure.
And what we'll do actually is we'll try to keep this bar level with the horizon when we're rolling down the runway, because that's parallel with our wing. So when we lift off or when we land, we want to have this bar pretty close to level. It doesn't have to be perfect. And as I accelerate, the aircraft is going to want to lift off.
Yep.
What time are we got right now? Wow, it's just about 6 and you're already on your first adventure. So we keep the bar level. Don't pull in or anything. Now I'm going to pull in to keep us on the ground until the girls lift off. And then we lift off. There you go. How was that?
Beautiful!
And there's sunrise. Nice. Now to be nice to these neighbors here, I'm going to go a little bit over to the right. I'm avoiding Bobby's house, Denise.
Duh.
What a way to start the day, huh?
Beautiful.
So up there is an extinct volcano. It's the highest point on Oahu.
Oh, wow.
So it's the coldest place on Oahu, and that's why there are clouds there.
All
So
the time.
what happens here in Hawaii, 90% of our rain, I would estimate, and it's pretty close to that, might even be slightly more or less, is made by the trade winds hitting a tall mountain, going up, and the trade winds get chilled down and turn into a cloud and make rain.
Nice.
So that's a rain manufacturing plant, as is that volcano over there is a rain manufacturing plant. Now the little bit of bumps here is the fact that the cold air on the mountain up there is more dense, and it will flow down as the warmer air here is rising up in the morning. So we're going to fly away from the volcano, and these little times the kite's going to be moving around will get less and less.
Yep.
Now you want to have a really, really relaxed grip. There's zero chance of this flipping over. It's super heavy on the bottom,
Yep.
super light on the top. I've been flying hang gliders since 1978, by the way.
Wow,
And
I
I've
was born that year.
never even broken a fingernail, okay? So I've had a little practice here, but these are super, super stable aircraft. In a regular airplane, when the wing raises 40 degrees, the cockpit will raise 40 degrees because they're rigidly attached.
Yep.
Our cockpit floats freely and doesn't want to follow the wing.
Nice.
Gravity keeps it in place.
Nice.
Paradise One Company.
Company.
And then we just let the...
What up, Buttercup?
Are you heading east or west?
We are going west.
Okay, are you coming over Mauka behind me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How you girls doing?
We're doing awesome. How's Andy doing?
Very good, thank you.
He's doing very good, thank you, and he was having so much fun on takeoff. Everybody's going to watch his takeoff. He loved it.
Yay! Takeoff's about one of the most exciting parts.
Yeah, nope, doing good. Guess I'll switch back over to Dillingham. I'm not sure where the kid is, but I just wanted to make sure that was you.
Yep, that's me. I don't know where he is either. He goes so high I can't see him.
All right. Okay, switching to Dillingham.
Okay, switches.
So as we come around here, we're going to get this morning sunrise photo.
I love it. I love it.
Isn't that spectacular?
Absolutely my favorite.
Yeah,
I absolutely love that.
can't beat this.
You can't beat this. You can't.
Now I'm going to make sure I can see those pretty teeth of yours, get some good sunlight on you, and give me a smile. Yep, that's perfect. I actually love it when a student does that without my suggesting it. All right.
Wow, this is the best office ever.
Nice. It really is. Now, the air will get a little smoother probably when we go out to the point. That's one of the reasons we like to go out there.
Sure.
Also, the road doesn't go around there, and we're able to show you the west side beaches that I told you about. Did you
Yes.
get a chance to go to the west side yet?
Not yet.
Okay. So after I show you this morning what's over there, you'll find time. I guarantee you.
Alright.
Look at the pink in the clouds up there.
Nice.
So on the bar here, if we pull it towards us, it moves our weight forward and helps us go down. But we're trying to go up because the landing areas aren't very good out there. So we kind of let it just float. We don't push it away, we don't push it in. It makes it easier because that's one less thing you have to kind of learn.
Yep.
What we do is so simple. It's very similar to a car. We turn a car steering wheel in a circle. Doesn't take any brain cells to do that, right?
Yeah.
Hang glider's almost the same. If we wanted to go over where the girls are, we look first to make sure we don't run into anybody, and then we pull our weight over to the right, and our weight will bring the wing down, and now we're turning like a bird.
Oh.
It's the only aircraft in the world that the pilot touches the wing, so it's the only bird-like aircraft in the world, in my opinion. They're
Wow.
really, really sweet. If this bar in front of us is parallel with the horizon, or the dashboard is parallel with the horizon, both of those will show us that we're going to be going straight. And we're going straight right now because our wings are level, because our weight is in the center. Very simple. It doesn't take a lot to calculate it. You can always look. Like right now, the right corner is a little lower than the left.
Yep.
That's why we get to do this beautiful turn to watch that even brighter sun. It got just above the early morning mist down there, and it's getting prettier and prettier. So we're going to take another great photo. Come around just a little bit more. Give me a smile. Nice, and do that again. I'm going to come around a little bit more and do it with your left hand. It's a little better shot because it's closer to the camera. Nice. Now the second round is going to be real pretty too, because the water is going to get a little brighter. You're going to get that towards the end of the flight, where when we look in the ocean, it looks a little better.
I would love that.
Now the end of the paved road is right there, and for many decades there was a dirt road that went around the point so you could go either direction, and there was a train track to get the sugarcane from the North Shore where it was grown over to the ships in Honolulu.
Oh.
So I think they did quite a bit of pre-processing in here, and then they sent it to California for final processing. That's why C&H Sugar stood for California and Hawaii. It was grown in Hawaii, but processed and packaged in California and then shipped around the world. So we keep an eye out for the other two aircraft. There's Eric flying around, and there's Denise.
Is that Denise on our, what's that, 11 o'clock?
I would think so. I think the kid went that way. This is one of the prettiest sunrises I've ever seen.
It's beautiful.
Now see how the coast goes this way and then that way?
Yep.
That makes the beach experience completely different, because at this latitude on Earth, which is 22 degrees north of the equator, the prevailing wind almost every day, not every day, but over 300 days a year, the wind comes from the east. Not the wind we feel right now. We're in a flying motorcycle, so wherever we go, we're going to feel wind in our face.
Yep.
But the wind in the weather predominantly comes from the east. So the wind over there is coming from the land to the sea, and that is a completely different texture on the water than over here where the wind comes from the sea to the land. When it comes from the sea to the land, it kind of scoops it up and makes it really choppy. You can see all the texture over here in the lines.
Yes.
That's from the wind. This is light wind, a little stronger wind, and a little stronger wind. That's why we like to fly early in the morning, because the water is going to get choppier, but it's going to get more difficult to land our aircraft behind the trees, because it'll be real bumpy down there.
Yes.
And then the air can get a little bumpier in other places. Now the west side is like the famous North Shore over there. It's protected from our trade winds by the island. So the wind hits the mountain, tumbles across the sky, and then lands offshore with a downward direction. If you look out there, it's a real obvious pattern on the water,
Oh, yes.
and it looks like a spattering.
Yep.
So that does not ruin the texture for boating or swimming or snorkeling or surfing or scuba diving. So the water texture is completely different on the west side than it is right here by us. I do a little turn and you'll see the beaches that I think are the nicest beaches. This beach right here is called Yokohama Bay and it's phenomenal.
Nice, I've been there.
There's, okay, bathrooms, showers, drinking water, and a very bored lifeguard. My more favorite beach is that one over there because there's no bathrooms, there's no showers, there's no bored lifeguard, and so there's very few people. On the south side of Makua Beach is a real bumpy dirt road, but it's very short, and you don't have to pull in very far. So you can park on the south end and walk into the beach, or the road comes around real close to the north end, and it's real good parking there. And then in the middle of the beach, there won't be anybody because everybody stays at the either end. It's kind of nice to walk towards the middle. Even only about 50 yards, you'll be where there's nobody.
Nice.
Now the air is getting a little bit smoother because we're getting up above the bumps and we're getting away from the cold air draining off the mountain. This mountain here is very, very low. We're above the air that's draining off of it. We're also high enough in the sky, that's the girls right there. We're high enough in the sky that if we needed to glide back to the airport, we could, because out here the wind blows the sand off the beaches and they're too rugged for landing.
Oh, yes.
So we don't fly low out here. So choppy water over here is the rule, not the exception. Almost every day by 10 o'clock at the latest, the water here will be super choppy. The people that like that kind of water are sailors, kite surfers, and windsurfers. Okay? So that's good over here because they like the wind to help them get back to the beach. And they don't seem to mind the chop because the kite makes them go so fast. They're not at the mercy of the bumps like a traditional surfer that doesn't have the kite. Over here, I like this water because it's like a lake. Just the way the island is shaped, the left side over here, the west side, almost never has waves as well. Do a little turn here. Makua Beach in particular, the second beach from where we are, sits back far enough. Look at how there's no waves over there.
Yeah.
Okay? If we get any bumps, it's because of the wind hitting the volcano to our left. It's not dangerous, and we'll go away from here in a second, but I want you to see this. Now, give me a look at the camera. Nice. And then we'll move over here away from the bumps. So we don't get to fly down the west side because it has the smoothest air. I mean, the smoothest water, but it has the bumpiest air.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Okay? Because the wind tumbles over the mountain and gets disorganized. Over here, when we move over a little bit, we're going to be in wind that's just coming off the ocean. There we go. We got into the smooth air there.
Nice.
So when wind travels over the ocean, it's traveling over the smoothest surface on the planet. So it stays real laminar. And the girls are dropping down now. We'll get underneath these bumps, but it's worth coming out here for a few bumps, but we normally can't go down there. It's a weird contrast, but it has the smoothest water and the most disorganized air. And today the wind is a little bit coming from Waikiki, where your hotel is, at this altitude. The sky is a lot like a wedding cake. There's different layers, and we've already checked that up high the wind is coming just a little bit to the right, and we know that there'll be occasional bumps, but most of the flight's going to be really perfect.
Nice.
Now we're going to get a picture of Kaina Point, and then we're going to drop down and warm up. See how the ridge is back there?
Yeah.
That mountain, again, is the highest point on our island, so it's the coldest. It rains up there 200 to 300 inches a year.
Wow.
It's a rainforest. 4 miles away, this is a desert.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, because it's too low to make the wind turn into clouds. All right, give me a big smile. This will be gorgeous. Nice. Now we're in smoother air, and we're going to drop down. So you've already been to Yokohama on a previous trip, it sounds like.
Yes, that's right.
But the girls, I think, would really like it. Just remember, if they need a nice bathroom and they want to be near a lifeguard, here, there's more waves here. Over there, there's no reason to need a lifeguard. It's like a lake. And I think you said one of the girls doesn't swim very well, right?
2 of them.
Okay. So on Makua Beach, if you park on the north side, there's real shallow, calm water. but it's even calmer if you move just towards the center. You can see there's no waves at all over there. It's like a bathtub. Now we're just coasting. I just took my foot off the throttle and we're coasting. Pretty peaceful up here, isn't it?
Very. I love it.
So that's the highest point on the island, the western tip, and then when we were out there, we could see all the way to the southwestern tip. Now, right now, we're not using the engine for power. We're using the most reliable power source you'll ever encounter except the sun. The sun might be the same power or better, but the power source I'm using most people can't think of, and I like to quiz them on it because I like to show people that you're pretty calm, and most of our customers find out they're calmer than they expect, but they were real nervous before we got in the air usually, and it's because they don't understand the sky and they haven't figured out it's the only place humans haven't ruined yet.
Oh,
Okay?
that's true.
So there's only 3 powered hang gliders in the entire sky. That's why it's safer, less volume of human beings. But if our engine was to quit, my backup engine will never quit. My backup engine is the most reliable power source you'll ever experience in your life, except maybe the sun is equally as reliable. So it's not the sun. What power source do you think I'm using right now?
The wind.
That's the most common wrong answer, so you should feel good about that, okay? Wind is not 100% reliable.
That's true.
Sometimes it's windy, sometimes it's not. Some places are windier than others. But it's a good guess. And I think because people are feeling the wind when we're flying around, it's a natural answer.
Yeah.
When I tell you the answer, you'll think, oh, I should have got that. But it shows you how little people understand the air and don't think about it. Right now, we're using gravity.
Oh.
Gravity will never fail, right?
Yeah.
Gravity is our backup power source to our famous Austrian engine back there. That engine is world famous. They're used on multi-million-dollar military drones for starters, okay?
Wow.
They're super good, and even though Eric's had a couple failures with his, those were self-induced, okay? Ours, we've never in 14,000 flights had an engine failure ever. So they're very, very reliable, but I don't fly like it's perfect. I fly like it's really, really reliable. So I never put you and I where we don't have a landing area nearby.
Yeah.
If we needed to land right now, we could easily land at the airport. I'm going to let us get a little lower and make our landing area. Could be the beaches over here. There's the girls right there. So our backup engine in this activity is completely perfect and infallible. That's a pretty nice thing to know. I'm adding a little bit of power here to keep our altitude. So we have to give up altitude when we rely on gravity, but the gravity will always bring you safely down to the earth if you've planned ahead. We also don't need a very big landing area because we're a small, slow aircraft with big tires, so we can land on the beach. 777 would have a hard time.
No way.
Yeah. So we have everything going for us. Plus, the type of activity we're doing right here, you and I came up here to have fun, right?
Yeah.
Are we having fun?
For sure.
I'm having a great time. But it doesn't need to be dangerous. So when I'm flying, I always choose to have a landing area within gliding distance. If you fly for American Airlines or FedEx, you have to go from point A to point B regardless of the weather most of the time. If it gets real bad, they'll cancel or go around. But they go through some pretty nasty weather because they're in a hurry. They also might go over the Rocky Mountains in the United States where there's no good landing areas. But that just happens to be on their route. We don't pick a route today where we don't have a good landing area. I won't go down in the bottom of a canyon, for instance.
Oh, yeah.
So right now, look at all the people having fun camping and everything, too.
Started already, yeah?
Yeah. Give me a big smile. Nice.
Oh, look at that view. Goodness.
That's amazing. Look at the water right here. The
Gorgeous.
green algae, all the colors, is beautiful.
Yes.
Now, wherever fresh water comes into the ocean, there will be no coral because coral likes salt water, not fresh water, okay? So if there's a little spring, a little weak spot in the ocean floor and some fresh water comes up, you get a nice little sandy pool. Pretty nice, huh?
Very nice.
Now, we're in pretty smooth air. And keep in mind, this is our steering wheel. Even if we were to let go, we will not flip over or stall. We're going to go across the runway just to be nice to one of the friends of President Obama's that lives right here on the ocean. We don't like to make a lot of noise for him because he's got powerful friends. Now try this. Put your hand, flip it over on the inside like mine, and if we push, that'll also bring our weight over to the left. You can pull your weight to the left to go left, or you can push it. And then once you get going where you want, you bring it back. Now look at the windsock, because I'll explain these bumps.
Yep.
See how it says the wind's coming from there?
Yep.
It's called the katabatic wind. I mentioned it earlier. The cold air up there is heavy and it drains down,
Yep.
but it's draining down over an uneven surface, so there's little ripples in the sky.
Nice.
The cockpit doesn't want to move because gravity is its overriding force, and it's not rigidly attached to the wing. Like in a regular airplane, they both move together. So if the wing here is dancing around, the cockpit would dance just as much in a regular aircraft. In ours, it's much more relaxing and calm. It's kind of like a boat with a wing over the top. Now, tomorrow and the next day, the reason why we're going down to the Ilikai and the fireworks tonight is they're going to be filming for the big movie Jurassic Park. I
Yes.
think it's called Ancient Futures. And they don't want a lot of activity on this airport because they put in an airport over there just for the movie.
Oh.
And all these white tents in front of us are just for the filming, for the film crews, probably where they're going to eat, and then they'll bring in a whole bunch of trailers and all that. If you go see the movie, I'm sure it'll probably make the final edit. There'll be a landing over here in this runway. It's right at the base of Mount Koala, so it looks really beautiful too.
Nice.
There's the girls. We're probably going to go there next. We're going to climb up and go up above the clouds up there.
All right.
But I wanted to show you this on the way we're going out. They've got a big truss system here. I don't know what they'll be doing there, but they'll be filming probably with that truss system you can see. They got a crew that just showed up on 4th of July, maybe security. Now take a look at the camera on the left wing and we'll get a photo of the runway used in Jurassic Park. Now I'm going to add a little power. That's the easy way to go up. When I step on the throttle in a car, we go faster, right?
Yep.
But you don't have a wing, and the wing will steal the energy. So instead of going faster when I step on the throttle in this aircraft, we start to go up. Most people, incorrectly because of their experience flying, they notice the nose comes up at takeoff, and they think you have to raise the nose to go up. That's not true.
Paradise 2, company.
Company, you can go up by hitting the airfoil with enough air, it will create lift. So you don't
Hey,
have.
where are you at?
We're down low in Dillingham, going up to Mount Koala.
Okay, we just started climbing up Mount Koala.
Yeah, we got you inside. That's the girl.
Okay,
Switch it. So this is a ranch that's used in weddings and TV shows. It's been used in a previous Jurassic Park the property has out here. They've used it in Hawaii Five-0 and the TV show called Lost. But it's a beautiful ranch. I'm going to take a picture of it because there's a big jeopardy that they're going to put 70 houses on this property.
Oh, wow.
And it's farmland and ranch land and it shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah.
But, you know,
Such a waste.
you know, like the song says, call it paradise and kiss it goodbye,
Yo, man.
right? Give me a smile. So enjoy this view of the mango orchard.
Traffic running whiskey about a mile and a half west swimming pool. Straight in for the 8. And the traffic is right.
Morning, Simon.
Hey, Mr. Coffee Shop.
Hey, yeah, the coffee shop is open and happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July. I believe I'll take advantage of it.
Well, it's good to hear your voice, my friend. Heidi's in the coffee shop, and there's 3 powered hang gliders flying around the sky, and that's it.
Okay, I got a shitload of glare here. And
Okay, well, we're over by Mount Koala, so we won't be a factor for you.
Okay, well, now it's swimming pool now.
Alrighty, we're out to the east. Anyway, have a nice coffee on us. And don't try to pay.
Yes, boss.
His job is to...
Good morning, Simon.
Morning, Denise.
His job
Nice
is...
to hear your voice. Welcome back.
Thank you. Nice to hear your voice too, my friend.
His job is to spot fish for the fishermen and tell them where they are. It's kind of cheating, but when they catch a lot of fish, he gets a big bonus.
Of course.
So we're going up with the power of the engine creating the propeller to spin faster, which tries to drive us forward, but then the wing steals the energy and makes you go up. The reason why we don't bother to raise the nose is although we're the smallest aircraft on this airport, on this island, the powered hang gliders are we're among the smallest. He's got a noisy radio. We fly this wing, and it takes more muscle to fly this aircraft than any other aircraft on the entire island. So if we bother to raise the nose, it takes a lot of muscle. The way we would do that is we would push our weight gently towards the tail, and the nose would come up. But if you don't add power, your forward speed will bleed off and you'll go back down. You feel that?
Yeah.
So if you're going to raise the nose, you still have to add power. You just have to add more. And then the wing is real heavy to hold out here. Hold the wing like that, and you'll feel why we don't try to do it very much. It's very heavy.
Yes, it is.
Now when we get a little higher, these bumps that are caused by the wind tumbling over from Waikiki hitting the volcano, they'll go away when we're over that little cloud. What's really nice is then the rest of the time, whenever you're on the island of Oahu, you can look up at this majestic mountain.
Yes, all the time.
And you can always know that I flew closer than anybody else does and around the top. That's what we're going to do right now. Even the tour helicopters don't come over here.
It is majestic.
Yep. Yeah, I haven't seen, I lost sight of the girls. They may or may not come over this close. But if you look carefully now, you can see the clouds going from the left to the right.
Yes, it is.
So if we get on the other side of the ridge there, the air is going to be smoother because it hasn't gotten disorganized by the mountain. But the mountain is getting lower here, so the bumps are getting lower here. So that's why I'm aiming for the low part, and then we'll climb up to the peak. Give me a smile right here. Nice. Go to the right by pulling our weight. Whenever we move our weight side to side, what we're doing is trying to imitate a bird, lowering the wings, leveling, or lowering. And all aircraft that do that, the pilots call that roll. The axis that we're doing is called roll. And that's 99% of what we do with the wing is just try to roll the wings down or level. Like right now, we're in a left turn, so what we're going to do is pull our weight to the right. We try not to pull in, we just let it float out here. Yeah, that's perfect like that. See the water in front of you?
Yes.
That's Pearl Harbor.
Oh.
See the little U in the mountains on the back mountain there? That's called the Koli Koli Pass, and when the Japanese attacked, they came in from many directions, but that's the most famous one, because supposedly some Japanese that lived here turned on us and told them where that was, and they used that to avoid radar.
Oh.
There's the girls, they're over the top of the cloud.
Oh, yes.
And you can really see the clouds moving, and that's why it was bumpy out near the point, but it's still worth it.
Beautiful.
Right now we're at 3,700 feet. Give me a big smile. The girls are down over there. They're leaving probably. So that's a military artillery range on the other side, but they're not using it on the 4th of July. None of the places are active today. So wind hitting a tree or a building or a mountain will be bumpy on the other side. Now when the sun shines on us, it will transmit our shadow onto these clouds with a rainbow circle around us. I'm going to try to help get a photo of that too.
Oh, that would be nice.
How do you like the volcano? Pretty amazing, isn't it?
Beautiful.
There's
Look
our
at this view.
There's our rainbow over there.
Oh, nice. Oh.
I'm gonna fly right at it, and then I'm gonna turn so the camera isn't blocked by the aircraft, and we'll take a picture.
Okay.